It recently came to my attention that the overwhelming majority of America's history, we've been at war. 222 years out of 239 years since 1776. Rome and many other republics are not only brought about by war, but live in a constant state of conflict. Do republics need war to legitimize their power in a way other forms of government don't?
Well, it's a very good question, and a very interesting theory. I had never thought of it, frankly, until this second. On the face of it, it makes sense. I mean, you certainly need, in a republic, in peacetime, the president is really only ruler of whomever elected for him, voted for him.
Yeah.
To get that feeling of near unanimity that a monarch strives for is very difficult. You need almost a disaster or a war. So I guess the argument might be made at Conspiracy Central or whatever, that war is necessary to retain any kind of real Republican neighborhood, Republican governance, rather.
Yeah, it seems it plays with your emotions, doesn't it, a little bit, because it heightens the sense of purpose, because you've got to be fighting for
something.
You're fighting for your country, and your country represents,
Oh,
fill
it's
in the
good.
blank.
A great
Yeah.
cause.
Yeah.
Whereas the idea of simply being peacefully loyal to your country for its own sake, without worrying about the lesser breeds, without the law outside, that's alien. Certainly the American Republican thinking. Small r. I'm not talking about Mr. Trump and the rest of them.
Okay, but I wouldn't say republics need war.
No, I don't know that they need it, but it certainly has benefited them. I mean, looking at this one.
But couldn't you say that about monarchies and every other government too, though? Because
not,
as we say, war always heightens the sense of purpose.
It does, but the problem is that the monarch, it's easier for the monarch to rule in a period of peace, unless there's some economic problem.
That's not true for republics?
Not really.
Why not?
Well, because we don't have the central organizing principle.
What is that?
Well, the king is your common father, given to you by God. We don't have that. I mean, look at what we have today. We have a country that is so terribly divided between the Trumpsters and the anti-Trumpsters. In republics, traditionally, the way out of this would have been, let's go to war.
Okay.
But in a monarchy, and certainly history has shown this, peace is inevitably more profitable for a monarchy than war is. And it's interesting to note that the American and French revolutions were preceded by a series of wars between the European monarchs, which were remarkable for their viciousness and their nastiness. Anyway, that's my own thought. Who knows?
I still think that the republic operating in a time of peace, I mean, why wouldn't they do well, though? I mean, I think...
Well, because republics are not natural, and they're based upon some ideology or other. Ideologies, I'll put it this way, what is the difference between your family and the Knights of Columbus, your Council of the Knights of Columbus, apart from size?
Well, family's obviously organic and natural.
It's simply there. But the Knights of Columbus have a purpose. All right? Your family doesn't have a purpose except existence. Whereas the Knights of Columbus, being a movement, they have a purpose.
Okay.
So in other words, when you go to your council meetings, you might very well enjoy the company of your brother knights and so on. But the idea of just kicking back and not doing any of the council business would be mad.
Okay. So...
Every organization like that has a purpose.
So you're saying monarchy is like a family. It's like a natural state of being,
yeah.
Their state of existing, where republic is like Knights of Columbus?
Well, it's a cause. It's a movement. It's got to go somewhere. Remember, republics have always come to birth through revolutions. Now, what is a revolution? Well, a revolution is a great, glorious cause. We're going to overthrow tyranny and bring in liberty. We never do, but then we also don't catch on. You know the old definition of madness is to keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting this time the republic will be free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as a result, in order to stay on an even keel, the sense of purpose, the cause that produced the revolution in the first place, has to be somehow maintained to keep the republic on an even keel. But how do you do that? It's very difficult in peacetime. It's much easier in wartime, because there you could simply say that fighting this enemy is an extension of the glorious cause that brought our forefathers here.
I see.
No, you don't. You're supposed to look off into the great future tomorrow. Cue Telstar. Da 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 dee 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 dee.
I got it.
Are you getting all swept up into it?
I like the musical arrangements better.
All right, well, never mind. But the point I'm making is that as I'm just sitting here thinking, on the run, as it were, brain on the run, brain on the run. No?
No.
Anyway, as I'm thinking on the run, so to speak, I suppose that you could make the argument that, a monarchy is simply a state of being, and a republic is a glorious cause if it's to retain the allegiance of its followers.
I'm gonna have to chew on that and digest that a little bit, because we've done a lot of shows. I've never heard that.
Me neither. I've never thought it.
That's very interesting.
I think so.
But yeah, okay.
I told you this has just come to me from the question. So work in progress.
Work in progress. Yeah.